Three, two, one. Good evening, everyone. How are you? This lovely lady that you see in the lens is so multi-talented, so multifaceted, so dynamic, so New York. And believe it or not, she is a legendary child star. Oh, I mean, within her own mind. But no, but for this time, I want to
No,
introduce
within
you.
her own right.
She is a prodigy. Okay, she's writing books. She's writing movies. She is very talented. I haven't introduced her because she's already running her own video right now live on Facebook. But this one is the unedited version that you won't see anywhere else until she releases it. It's on my private video. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to Miss Duchess Rhoda Pruitt. Good evening. How are you there today?
I'm great, and you?
I'm doing phenomenal interviewing you. You just make my day.
Thank you so much.
So, of all the accolades I could bestow on you, which one shines the most in your mind?
Wow. And that was a deep one already because, when you have, I say, a handful of projects, it's like having a hand, you know what I mean? Like, which finger is more important? You can't really separate, you know what I mean? Because they all work together. The projects that I have are passionate to me, but they're natural projects because they're just a part of my life. So I gotta say that depending on which one is the favorite of the person that's calling me is the one that's the favorite of mine.
Wow. So now how do you juggle your time? You're the most industrious lady I know, especially in Los Angeles, because they don't move and shake like you do. You're originally from where?
New York.
What part of New York?
Every part of New York, baby. New York.
Okay. Okay. Well, what do you call home in New York? Where do
Well,
you lay
I
that
was
beautiful head?
okay. Well, I was born in Harlem, but I was raised in the Bronx and Westchester County, New Rochelle, Mount Vernon. So now I have a house in Queens. So that's why I say I am pretty much a New Yorker.
She's New York, New York, New
I'm
York.
trying to be nice and say New Yorker because I'm on the camera, but it's New York.
This is what I love about my East Coast people. A lot of people don't realize I'm from the East Coast, but I don't have that drawl or accent because I became very westernized. Everybody used to tease me. But Duchess,
See, I've been here 13 years off and on, but I'm not here consistently enough to really change. And I don't think that I will change because, it's a little engraved in me right about now.
well, okay, don't ever change, but only for the better if you do.
You already know.
I already know. So let's talk about number one, your book that you have and your best friend. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Okay? Talk to me about that. How is this book coming, trying to get production here in Los Angeles? What have you been running into? The obstacles, the roadblocks, just tell me all about this. Because Hollywood is the town that makes it happen. New York is where you're from. But go ahead. Tell me about Los Angeles and how you're approached with your new book, Celebrity Kids.
It's not Celebrity Kids. That's
I
number
wanted
one.
you, I was waiting for you to correct me too. Go ahead.
It's okay. The book is Celeb Kids, Maya Campbell and Rhoda's story, and it's basically the book is about Maya Campbell, actress Maya Campbell, and I, and how this all came about was because Maya, we all know the infamous Maya Campbell, celebrity actress of In the House, and she's done videos with Tyrese, like Sweet Lady, Leading Lady. She's been in, lately, she's been in Fat Joe's video. I mean, just so many videos. I'd be here all day long, but we know which Maya Campbell. I just wanted to do that for the people who don't know, on your page.
Thank you.
But, Maya and I have been friends for the past, like, over a decade, 13, 14 years. And about 6 or 7 years ago, at the height of her falling from her stardom and just losing her mind and being bipolar, mentally ill, I run into her because her and I had a friend in common. it was just like, when two forces meet each other and you just become friends and you just like stick. It was like two meteors coming together. I don't know. This friendship was something that I think caught even me by surprise. But we had a friend in common and we linked up, and she had a book and she was having some trouble, and now I understand why she was having the trouble that she was having, and she gave me the book to begin with.
Wow. So now I do a lot of work in the nonprofit arena, and I see every day people starving, people hungry, people homeless, and we go out to interview them, and most of them don't want to leave the street, and I think it's not necessarily that they love the street so much, it's because they suffer from some traumatic stress disorder, or just I don't want to leave because it's a mental illness. Now, I understand that you know a little bit about mental illness as
A
well.
lot.
Okay.
A lot of it.
Very good. Let's go to it.
Right.
Tell me about your
Well,
experience.
I want to stop you right there because I don't want to, perpetuate that out there in the atmosphere, and people have that misconception.
Then let's clear it up.
You know what the problem is? Because I'm not mentally ill. I feel mentally ill. I'm going to be honest with you. I am feeling fucking mentally ill, okay? No, you have to understand. Being a woman is the hardest job that it's just so underrated, and people cannot even imagine the dogma, the karma, the nasty attitudes, the control and that's forced upon you, even if you're not even in a relationship. The minute you encounter a guy who is interested in you, that's when the whole dogma, comes into play. Like, let me give you an example. There's always some kind of twist and turn, or some kind of threat, or some kind of, promise, or you only have interest in a production if you are sexually attracted or not. You don't even have to be sexually attracted. Like, if a guy is sexually attracted to you. Mm-hmm. And that was the reason why, to be honest with you, it's not about the money. Yeah, I know that Maya Campbell and this movie and book at some point will make millions and millions of dollars, maybe even billions of dollars, especially with the crazy mind that she has and I have behind the production. The problem is that, and you being a friend of mine and just watching what I go through daily.
Oh Lord, I know what you're talking about.
You already know.
I already
you
know.
know. It is impossible to prevent. I mean, literally, when you go on my page, I'm ranting about the same thing over and over and over and over in different ways. And, I've made it a conscious habit now of when I meet a guy, I tell him exactly what he is going to do, because that's the only way to stop him. No, honestly,
No,
you know what I mean?
right.
You have to, in order to stop him from making the same exact approach that 15 other guys made that day, that morning, the day before, the blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
It must be tough to be a beautiful woman with brains too.
It's, what the funny thing is, and
Go
why
ahead.
I take it all in stride, because I'm not that beautiful of a woman when I'm walking down the street and people don't know that my dad has 13 hit albums. So that's why I don't give a fuck anymore, and I'm being real honest about it. I'm not going to smile and encourage it, because I don't like it personally. It's getting in the way of my money. And that's the reason why I have just disconnected from so many people when it comes to production, because, like, I'll give you an example.
Go ahead.
I had somebody that I don't want to say which place, because I don't want to put that on blast. Just
Please don't.
Yeah.
Don't blast anybody.
Right,
Okay?
I'm not gonna do that. But I went to a place and I bought into some service, spent some money. I'm talking about 15, 20 G's at least. Actually more than that, but I don't really want to say what it is.
OMG.
I don't really want to say what it is, because
Right.
people are gonna make the connection as to what I'm talking about or where I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm coming up dropping over $20,000. You understand? I'm not coming in like a little girl. Apparently, I don't need to be a slut bucket because I've got that kind of money that I can afford whatever it is without a discount. I didn't ask for anything. I came
Okay,
cash.
now they don't know you like I know you.
Right. No,
okay?
no, but
Right,
you don't even
yeah.
have to know me. To
Right.
see any woman walk up into any type particular environment like this and hold her own, you understand what I mean, should be suggestive enough, despite the pedigree of the catalog of music and all the stuff that, you know, my family put on the map.
Right.
Okay. So this guy, you know, becomes really intrigued by my situation because I was doing business with other people there and I wasn't even doing business with him. But he saw me, he was attracted, he was looking for any kind of way. I already know he's the older guy. Okay. So
The older guy
the older
says-
guy. Oh, we're gonna talk about them because
Okay.
it is.
Well, now be sensitive about that issue.
No, I'm not gonna be
because
sensitive,
all
but-
older guys are not that way.
No. But the problem is that there are so many more of you that are that way that to talk about the ones who aren't really doesn't make a difference because that's not what we're going through. People like Maya Campbell cannot be in production with people who are beneath her. Let's be honest about it. Despite how much of a clown she may be in the street and how crazy she may be, these people are beneath her and she's had box office success and they should be appreciative to even get a piece of the action when somebody is coming to you with a production deal. Or just to say, especially when we didn't even invite you, but you may say, oh, I have the contacts, blah, blah, blah. I want to be interested. Okay. Me being the manager behind this, the owner of the work. You've never heard of me. You know my father and my family's position. We're not getting pimped out of royalties, which means I'm somewhat comfortable, even though I pretty much live out of a car half the time in LA. Why? Let me tell you why.
Please do.
Because I'm tired of being around people that you make it clear you're not interested in, and the second that you're not interested in them, then all of a sudden they're not interested in your production, and then they want to come and tell you, oh, well, I'm a nice guy and I'm doing this from the heart, you know what I mean? And I'm doing blah, blah, blah. But the minute your dick is not getting satisfied, then all of a sudden, you know
Excuse
what I mean?
me, this is a family show,
No,
but go ahead.
it's not a family show because if you're a little kid, take your ass to bed because I'm not talking to you.
Go ahead, girl.
Right.
This is your
No,
uncut interview.
Right.
I don't do this often.
Because if you want to talk, exactly, because if you want to talk to Rhoda Pruitt, you're going to talk about what's really going on. Because
Amen.
see, if I allow people to come in and sugarcoat and make shit funny and make it like, oh, it's really not a bad thing and oh, blah, 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 then you know what? We'll spend another 10, 11 years wasting time, and that's not what I'm going to do.
Amen. Let's go to it.
You know,
New York
like
style.
I say, right. You know, home of the Cardi B's and the Remy Mans. We don't play no games out here. But like I say, you know, I had a guy, you know, just to give you an example, and he's like, oh yeah, I got all of these people I want to introduce you to. And oh, you know what? You're bilingual. You speak 2 languages. Oh my goodness. You know, you're an interior designer. Well, you know, I got a spare bedroom. I want you to, you know, blah, blah, blah. I want you to come around. I want it because literally, if you give me a placement in this position, I'm qualified to make more money than you because I have more talents than he actually has. But that's not good enough because if he's not getting pussy, then he's not interested in anything else, and it makes my ear suffer, it makes me suffer, it affects my attitude, and it's the reason why I log on and I have so many ignorant videos that I'm gonna keep making because I keep going through the same experience. And unfortunately, you know, a drug addict, okay, a complete slut or whatever my ear chooses to be at the moment because of her circumstances, if I allow myself to be in that circumstance, then that's going to make it okay for her. I'm strong enough to say no. I'm strong enough to back you down. I'm strong enough to whatever. But I can't allow anybody who's going to be in production with me treat me a certain way or it's going to affect her behavior. And that's what being a real friend is about.
Amen. Well said. Well, like I said, when we were first introduced, long distance, one of my friends from back east calls me up and says, look, you got to look out for my girl. I go, now you know I'm going to look out for all of you
Tanya
kids.
Jackson, how you doing? How you doing? I
That's
gotta
right,
say that.
Tanya. We're
How
gonna
you
bring it
doing?
out. Here it is.
That's
You
right.
brought me.
Because I
You
never give
brought.
her too much credit and whatever. And it's because she's so weird with her Facebook pages and stuff. And I can't keep up with. She got 12 of them, and I can't keep up. But hi on 12 pages, okay? Go, carry on.
Okay, so Tanya Jackson came to me. She actually has a crush on one of my friends, Shabadoo,
Oh my goodness, I've
Adolfo
heard
Quiñones.
about that. You know, Shabba-Doo actually and Turbo did that movie Breakin', and
Yes.
they break dance to my dad's music. Obviously, my dad's song is Just Begun. It's like the number 1 to 3, I can't remember, breakdance song ever. You know,
Right.
that was in like flash dance and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's funny how, you know, all of these people that are mentioned that I have nothing to do with, I have a lot to do with.
And that's the funny thing. She didn't tell you that I was all that. She just told you I was a great guy. I had a production company, and I help you out in any way you can. And still to this day, whatever you want to do,
You've
including
really
this
been
video,
there for me. You're
including
right
this
with me, you
video.
know
Now
it.
we spent time together, a lot of time together, doing a lot of different things, seeing what you go through as a woman. It kind of makes me mad that men are like that. They just give us good guys a bad name.
And the problem is that, you know, they really want to credit and they want to be celebrated. And I don't want to be the bitch and not do it, but I can't give you credit where it's not due because you won't even give me credit where it is due. So why would you
Amen.
expect somebody to give you credit where it's not?
Entitlement, I think, is the nationwide word
And that's
that
why
everybody thinks they're entitled. Like your
you
royalty.
entitled to something. You know how many men I like out there that I want to like drink their bath water right now and like kick
No,
their
I don't. How many is
well,
that?
let me tell you, and I want to like kick their whole families that have been existing and they're like to the curb and like take them over. But you know what? Hey, I can't do that. In the same way that it does, I can't do it. It's the same way I wouldn't even give you the pleasure of thinking you could do that.
Ooh, baby, I love it.
You know what I mean? It's like to the point where I didn't start off with any intentions on beginning a feminist movement. But now I see that I have to completely disempower men to make them understand that you're going to do what I want you to do, or you're not going to do anything at all. All that Pebbles and what they did back in the day with Babyface and Tony Braxton, y'all got real hype off of that. And you think you're going to just keep perpetuating this. You know what I mean? And it's just to the point where I was driving Uber because I just didn't even want, I've been in California for the past like 8 months, avoiding. Like, what am I doing? I came out here to do production. I came out here to talk to people, and it's like I find myself ready to book a flight and go home and deal with some of my friends who are already on reality shows because as women, they already get it. And the problem is that a lot of people would love to see Maya and they want to fly her out and they want to do this, that, and the third, and they have this itinerary of what they want. You are lucky to have her speaking about anything she chooses to
Amen.
speak about.
People are just not grateful for an opportunity these days. You extend the hand of kindness and friendship, and the first thing they want to do is steal it, take away, and give you the money, give you a cut of your own project.
Your own production.
Yeah. What is that?
And she's not, and like I say, you know, she's not capable of that, being mentally ill. And I'm like, this word just goes like, I say mentally ill, and I'm like, I'm thinking the earth's gonna shatter and it's gonna click, and you're gonna, and it's like 15 minutes later, they'll ask me a question like, okay, so is she completely sober? Is she clean? Is she gonna be ready to do a film? And I'm like already disgusted, and I already know that this conversation is over because you do not know what mental illness means if you're asking me those questions.
Wow.
You gotta understand, people who are already exercised in this and who are already conditioned to this already know your level of intellect and your level of experience and know that they don't want to be in a production with you because you're not gonna put me in a position where you're gonna make me say that she's gonna do this, that, and the third. I don't know what Maya is gonna do. One time I called Maya and she told me, I don't like you, bitch, click. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know I was like, well, you know what I mean? And then,
She flipped the script real quick. What we say out here?
And called me back and was like, wait, do you got blah, blah, blah's phone number? So, well, hold up, you just said you didn't like me. But like I say, you know, I can't the same way, like we have issues, we have things that I'm afraid might come out into the media. Oh yeah, there's lots
What?
of things going. Oh yeah, there's lots of things
Ooh, I want
that
the
might
exclusive
come.
on that one.
Oh wait, there's lots of things that
Okay.
could come out, or there's lots of things that could happen. But my point is that when you're lucky to be given an opportunity for you to put more emphasis on what you want and what you expect, people who already know the circumstance or the environment that they're in are going to know what is possible and what is not possible. And I'm not going to promise something, that's not possible. Like I say, I want to show her story. I want to show what she's doing out there. I want to show how she's really living. I want to show all these fake ass contacts that pretend that they want to help publicly, but they see me out here. Like I could understand if I was out here, 6, 7 months, maybe a year, making videos. I've been out here 13 years, and so like I say, but the super rich people that are out there who claim that they want to help her, LL Cool J or Ayanla, they see me. Their fans see me, so I know they see me. And I'm just saying, if you want to help somebody, we could help her. But let me help you help her, because she's already connected to me. Where you've been gone for the past 15 years, I've been there for 15 years. You can't expect to just, take my place.
You're like her mother now.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, but I mean, you've nurtured her. You've been there. You've nurtured a relationship that's manageable, we'll say.
Right.
And you could probably, with the right financial support, or just the fact of loan me the studio, let me shoot, bring me your production team.
This is right. No,
Okay, go
no.
ahead.
That's exactly what I was saying. Because my point is that everybody wants a piece, everybody wants a contract. Let me tell you why these guys are losing out here nowadays.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I already know, but
and
go
I'm
ahead.
telling you because I'm a licensed real estate broker. I've closed with Sotheby's. I mean, independently owned and operated, and I dropped that because it became a little too slow. I got tired of people living in disheveled houses that are foreclosed, that look bad, carpets that's been on the floor for 45 years, pissy sofas. You'd be surprised how the average person lives
In those
their
mansions.
own house. No, regular house or a mansion in their own homes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, living upside down, sprinkler system don't work, all of these things. And they'll come to my house. They see how gorgeous it is, and they don't want to take any instruction. They don't want any criticism. They don't want to fix anything. But at the same time, they want to do Airbnb and get the same amount of money that I'm getting. You don't make $7,000-$8,000 a month, and you've got grandma's couch, and grandma been dead 17 years. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's your honesty that so amuses me and so refreshing, because most of the people in Los Angeles are real phony. And us East Coast, we don't play that way. No,
but they're the ones that get the love. So I'm sitting here thinking do I need to do it? But I just can't do it. Because the difference is that these people are trained actors and actresses for the camera, and they were nobody, and their families know everybody in Hollywood, and they're used to the system. And at the end of the day, you know what? I'm going to be famous or die with a legacy regardless, because my father's famous. They don't have nothing to do with whether. So I just was like, you know what? Everybody else's personality is taken. Nobody's honest enough to say the things that need to be said because they want the audience of people to applaud, and they want everybody to like them. I don't want everybody to like me. I want the people who have money for production to like me. I want the people who want an interior design to like me. I want the people that could help me take this girl off the street, who want to be here right now with me in California. But I can't afford to take care of the book, the movie, and everything else, and deal with everybody's bullshit every 5 seconds. People got all kind of friends. I don't hear about them. I don't see them. And then when I go to California, they want to recommend all of these stupid ass companies, for me to work at, which looks stupid because I'm the Jimmy Castle Bunch kid, and why am I over here working for somebody and I got more money than you? At some point, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, when do you see yourself?
They don't see
When do
themselves.
you see? No, but even if a woman shows you yourself, you still don't see yourself, and that's why I've gotten to the point where I don't even. In order to have the child that I'm planning, because there's this time that I have one, I'm doing
Uh-oh.
in vitro fertilization because I just don't want to be bothered with anybody. Because you will end up sleeping around trying to have a baby with a man who got a low sperm count. He may have STDs. He may have all kind of wife, kids, or whatever. He may say that he wants to be with you, and he's judging your friendship or your relationship, and he doesn't like your personality. And after 5 or 3 or 4 months of screwing you, now all of a sudden he doesn't want to go through it, and a woman has wasted her time. Like I say, if I don't let people know where I stand and why I've just disconnected completely, because I feel like this: if you're not giving me what you want, what I want, you're not getting what you want. Now it's going to be nasty. Because I'm tired. I mean, you can't expect after 13, 14 years for me to sit there and be phony about it. I'm paying my own bills, so I don't give a fuck what anybody think. Now, when
Amen,
Hollywood is
Reverend.
paying my bills, then maybe
Preach.
I'll have a better attitude. But right now,
Oh, that was
the
perfect.
sun rises in the east, but it sets in the west. I will ship the car, the vehicle, and I will come out here. But I'm like, why?
You
Why
are
should I do it?
such the Duchess.
Why should I just keep doing it? Why should I keep spinning my wheels? So like I said, this guy that, just to give you an example, that promised all of this, now I'm like, oh, you know what? Now I'm coming for your homeboy in your office. Like I say, and I have to let people, I know that makes people warned, like they feel like, oh, I don't want to deal with her. But if you don't want to deal with me because I'm going to be as petty as you are to me, then you know what? You're not meant for me to do business with. Because let me tell you something.
Bingo.
My father always told me. He said, you know what? If you have good intentions, you wouldn't be threatened.
Once again, I totally agree with you. And see, it's like I run into the same thing with women. They always want something. And I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day,
But you're dealing with women who don't have nothing. Because, see, the difference is that a woman
Okay,
who
go
got
ahead.
shit, I know, this is what I'm saying. You can't even talk to a woman without her knowing exactly who you're talking to because I'm a woman. I ain't never asked you for shit other than.
I never said
No,
you
I'm
did.
just saying. No, I know that, but I'm just
Let's
saying.
not make this
no,
personal.
That's. But you're missing the point. The women who
Okay.
are listening to me understand what I'm
Okay.
saying. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not talking about me personally. I'm
Right.
saying that if you're dealing with people who are constantly wanting stuff for you, like you and I have a certain drive, okay, with media or with production. So it's like it's not a personal thing. I have a project that you may be better at in this area or that area, or I may be better for this. But like I say, it's a give and take situation. But if you are around a woman who is looking for something from you, it's because she feels as though you want something from her. Especially if you.
Is that because I'm a man?
Especially if you flirted with her. Let me tell you something. I'm not even gonna put you on spot. If you're flirting with, let me tell you something. When you want to do business with a woman, keep it business. The problem with men is that they want to flirt and they want to do business. And I know you, and so therefore you cannot tell me, okay? And I'm gonna keep it light.
I'm looking
No,
right
but
at
I'm
your
just
eyes,
saying,
not
exactly.
in the camera.
Right,
Go
but I'm
ahead.
saying you cannot do both. And
You
that's the
can't.
problem. When I come up to somebody and it's about business only. Because see, what people don't understand is that, especially ladies out here, and I'm telling you, being born in this industry and cut from this cloth and having to deal with it, whether I want to deal with it or not, you cannot go in so many different directions. Because see, it's just like, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? You understand?
I've heard that expression.
Or
That's an East Coast
if
expression.
a guy is coming to you and he's like, even with some of the men that are coming to me, right? They're coming to me personally. I'm not looking for that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm shutting it down all day long because I don't want to be bothered. Because if I give them that, then therefore they're not going to take production seriously. I told a guy that was interested in me, I said, listen,